The other area that I wanted to visit with you on, and this is again a little bit of a rub to Alaska. As you know, we became a state some 50-odd years ago. Our lands have not been yet fully and finally conveyed under the terms of the Native Claims Settlement Act. Lands that are owed to our Native peoples have not yet been finally conveyed. We're working on that. We had some good discussions about some ways, and we're thinking creatively, okay, can we use a different methodology to do the surveys, how we reduce our costs to still accomplish that same goal. And I think that that's a good step for us. But again, in the proposal that we have before us with the budget, effectively, Alaska, those revenues that would be coming to our state, we're saying, okay, we will take from you in order to complete the conveyances or to pay for those conveyances. I cannot understand why any state should ever be expected to effectively pay the federal government to perform that federal obligation of conveying the lands that have been approved by Congress and clearly past administrations. And yet, somehow or other, it seems that the Interior Department is suggesting that Alaska needs to share in this financial burden. So you need to know that, again, I've been pushing on this issue since I came to the Senate. We advanced legislation that put in place an expedited process, and we're still 9 years later, and we still have not yet fully and finally finished these conveyances. So we need to make better progress on that. We've got more in the budget this year that's helpful, but again, we're still looking at decades and decades before these conveyances are complete. So I'd like to hear your proposal on how we might move forward with that. But again, if the expectation is that the state is going to have to pay for the conveyances or the costs that are associated with the conveyances, that's just not going to work.
Senator, I'm not aware of anything that has suggested the state pay for the cost of the conveyances, so I appreciate an opportunity to work with you and better understand that aspect.
What they're suggesting is that a share of the mineral payments that Alaska would receive would be utilized to help cover the costs for the conveyances.
Okay, I'll look into that. Okay. On the survey themselves, the BLM is really committed to an expedited process so that we can move forward. We agree that we want to convey these lands. I really appreciate your willingness to do an expedited process and use GIS mapping techniques, because the way the legislation is, you put actually a physical stake every 2 miles, and you know how impractical and expensive that is in Alaska. So we'll be working with the BLM to get it moving forward. Again, I hadn't heard of the issue about the state paying them, and we'll look into that further. And
I appreciate you looking into it. And